Dear students, good morning. Welcome back to our Gokulam Public Schools online class. For last class, we started the lesson from trade to territory. I hope all of you understood the first part of that lesson. Okay? Then did all of you complete the notes? A few of you sent the notes to me. But I didn't correct all students' notes because more and more students send the notes, so it is taking too much of time for correction. So within 2 days itself I will complete the correction and send the notes. You don't worry about that. Okay? Then please listen here. Then the last class, up to where we completed, did you remember that? Okay? Then there was a frequent clashes between English East India Company and the Bengal Nawabs, and that conflict led to the war. And we discussed the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buksan. Then after the Battle of Plassey, the East India Company, they got the Diwani right. What is meant by Diwani right? The right to collect the revenues of Indian states. Okay, did you remember that? Diwani rights, that means the right to collect the tax or revenues of Indian states. Okay, then now we wanted to discuss that how did English East India Company become Nabob? Okay, what is meant by Nabob? Listen here, N-A-B-O-B, Nabob. Nabob, that is an anglicized version of the Indian word Nawab. Here, the English East India Company, they gradually become the Nawab of Indian provinces. Clear? Then, here they acquired more money and more power and authority from India. Then each company official, they tried to be as the Nawabs. Each company officials, they wanted to be as the Nawabs. Then after the Battle of Plassey, the Nawabs of Bengal, they were forced to give more and more land areas or more and more territories and vast amount as a gift to the East India Company official. Did you clear? They wanted to give more and more territories and more money to the company officials. And please see the chart. Did you clear that? Each and every company servant, they wanted to become Nabobs. And so after the Battle of Plassey, the actual Nabab of Bengal or any other provinces, they were forced to give more and more territories and more gift to the English East India Company officials. Okay. Then next, here that time the Governor General of Bengal, who was that? Robert Clive. Did you remember that? He became the Governor General of Bengal in which year? 1764. Okay. Then here Robert Clive, he reached Madras in 1743 at the age of 18. Then when he went back to Britain, he accumulated more wealth from India. Then you know that he accumulated more than, that is 4,01,102 pounds. That much of wealth he accumulated from India. So what did they do? The English East India Company and the British Parliament, what did they do? They supposed to remove the corruption. Asked him to remove the corruption. Okay. But then he himself made a fortune. The worth of rupees, how much? Did you remember that? That was 4,01,102. Even though the British officials or the Parliament asked him to free from the corruption, he accumulated that much of wealth from India. So he was cross-examined by the British Parliament, and later in 1774 he committed suicide. Please listen here, the chart that was showing here. Okay, very nicely that is showing here. Please see that. Understood? Then next we want to discuss that. Here company rule expands. East India Company, for expanding the rule in India, they adopted certain measures. What were the measures they adopted to expand the rule in India? One of the measures, that means, please listen, that is the process of annexation from 1757 to 1857. 1757 importance, the Battle of Plassey. 1857, do you know? The first war of Indian independence, 1857. But during this period, then how did they expand the territories in India? What were the measures adopted by the East India Company to expand the rule in India? One of the methods, that was direct military attack. They directly attacked some of the territories and conquered the territories and annexed the territories along with the British India. Okay, and another method, that was more diplomatic, political and economic method. Okay, what were the political, economic and diplomatic method? One was that the company appointed residents in India. Listen, the company appointed residents in Indian states. And what were the duties of this resident? The residents, they were the political or commercial agents of East India Company. And their job, that was to serve and work for the interest of the company. What was the job? To serve and work for the interest of the English East India Company. And through the residents, the East India Company, they started to interfere in the internal affairs of the Indian states. Okay, they decided then who wanted to be the next ruler and who was to be appointed in administrative post. All these were decided by whom? The residents. That was one of the method accepted by the English East India Company to expand the territories. And another method, that is most important method, introduced the policy of subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance, who introduced that? That was introduced by Lord Wellesley, Richard Wellesley. Okay, he became the Governor General of India from 1798 to 1805. 1798 to 1805. And the Indian rulers, they were not allowed to have the independent armed forces. Please listen, what is meant by subsidiary alliance? According to the subsidiary alliance, the Indian rulers, they were not allowed to maintain their own military. Instead of that, they were protected. Indian rulers were protected by the company forces. But at the same time, these Indian rulers, they wanted to pay the company forces. In any way, if the rulers failed to pay the company officer, then part of the territories were annexed by the East India Company. Okay, listen here. The example, then Wellesley, Richard Wellesley, he forced the Nawab of Awadh to give over half of its territory to the East India Company in 1801. That was as per the subsidiary alliance. When the Awadh Nawab failed to pay the amount to the East India Company forces, then his territory, Awadh Nawab's territories were taken by the company in 1801. Another example, that was the Hyderabad Nizam. He was also forced to give his territory to the East India Company. Please see there. Then look at the features of the subsidiary alliance. Do you understand that? Okay. Then next, the methods adopted by the East India Company. Okay. Then to expand the territories, that were, please listen. Then first one, what was the first point? Please see the chart. Then direct military attack. And the second one, that is not showing in this chart. The second one, the appointment of the residents. And the third point, they accepted the political, economic and diplomatic method. Okay. And one of the method, the subsidiary alliance. Clear? Did you understand? And the remaining part we can take in the next class. Then please, I will send the questions through WhatsApp. Prepare the notes and study well. And after completing these lessons, I will conduct the class test. So don't forget to prepare the notes then and there itself. Soon after completing this class, you have to write the notes also. Okay, any doubt you can ask me. Clear? Okay, thank you.